Okay, so the only ever reasons on why we actually relapse is basically just straight up when we are in bed. Basically, when I was in bed, I was just sometimes I would sleep. I mean, sometimes I'd take a nap, but the truth is, that was basically just a cope. I would go on my phone and then scroll, scroll, scroll. Like the average CEO of 17-year-olds, they will all just keep on scrolling, 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 scrolling. And there, there goes, there goes your no pap streak. Basically, since this is the reasons why we all relapse, there's basically there's also others that causes it. The first thing that causes it is basically when, like, in my basically, it only happens to me when, like, after dinner I'd eat rice and then go upstairs and then go to the bed, go to like my parents' room and then like scroll on freaking YouTube and then end up seeing a trigger, which mostly happens because there's always a trigger on YouTube. It's definitely like I know a way which like made me fix these mistakes, and basically I just I just did was I stopped going there. If I'm ever gonna scroll on YouTube, I'd go downstairs. Like I know it's a really really bad habit, but if you cannot like stop it, bro, I recommend you just do not go to the same place where you keep on relapsing. That's basically the first step here to conquer it. Because the only ever reasons we actually relapse is basically when we're like bored as heck, or when we're feeling lonely. We don't have any brothers or masculine partners to be with us, to work out with us, and to like tell us, hey bro. And like we always wanted like a friend who we can tell like, bro, I think I might relapse right now, and then he'd say, or I'ma come to your house and let's go do some workouts. Like, yeah. And there's also when we're sad. Basically when we're in a trauma, we get traumatized or something, or basically when we're just let's say we're just sad. Something caused us to be sad. Just basically in the past, basically when my mom like beats my ass. I guess that's the only time I was sad or something. But like in stories, I don't think stories count, bro. Cause in stories you don't actually like get sad because like the stories aren't. Maybe it's not the real sad that causes us, but yeah. But in my opinion, if you just keep on scrolling, scrolling, of course, we all know you're gonna end up triggering yourself. Basically, just like you should journal about this or like type in your like Samsung or iPhone notes or the documents. You better like journal about like when was the time. Let's say you relapse, bro. Immediate, like you would feel so much regret. The last time you, or like just if you haven't like relapsed in a while, just remember the last time you relapsed and then you like write down what happened and why you did that. Basically, what emotions you were feeling. Like, were you sad, lonely, or bored, or like anything? What you were feeling at the time, or what time it was, like 4:30 p.m. or something. Like any time, the time that you get triggered or something, or the time you relapsed, and also what app were you using at the time. If you were using YouTube, which I was, which caused the triggers, we all know. If you're using YouTube, bro, then you better use YouTube less. You better like go outside and like speak to people, or like do a, do way more workouts, like 2 hour workouts to make yourself busier. Like these are just the best tips that was actually given. If you were like, if you like weight lift, of course you would feel busy and it will be so painful, because yeah, you can also like meditate, which basically increases your awareness, and it increases your like what meditation actually does is basically like when you're feeling like, let's say you see a trigger and your brain says, no, I want to do it, I want to, but you've been meditating for like every day for so long, let's say 5 minutes every day or 10 minutes every day, you've been meditating for like a really long time now, your brain will disagree. Your brain will say, no, I don't want, I will not do it, because he knows, because your brain knows that it's just tricking you into because your brain is just convincing you to 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 do it, to relapse. Your brain is convincing you to relapse. But if you if you meditated for like a really, like every day, you will know that, wait, I'm scrolling on YouTube right now, what am I doing? Hey yo, then you quit it, because you realize, wait, I'm just gonna trigger myself. So like these are like one of them tips. The tips, there are also more tips in the three tips for no there's also a few tips in the last few videos of nofap, but like this is just one of them greatest tips that I've learned. Just meditate more, bro, and write down every mistake you've done which caused you to relapse. Like I wrote down on what caused me to like relapse, and it's basically because I was scrolling on YouTube. If you relate to that, if that happens to you as well, you can also write it down so that you will remember what caused you, and you can write write down what time it was. Remember that you remember to journal. You remember to write down everything that caused you to relapse, feelings, time, and yeah, emotions and everything, and also the environment on what place it caused you, which is basically everybody's room. Everyone's room is where everybody relapses. That's how. So basically, just write it down. Okay, that's all. Take care, bro.